My name is Tate Olson, host of Math Talk. Beside me, Brayden Rautenberg, co-host. Brayden, we're going to start with Math Talk News 5. Today's December 3rd. Why don't you take it away for us?
Today's flavor of the day at Culver's on Milton Avenue here in Janesville, Wisconsin is Chocolate Heath Crunch.
Today's hashtag for the day is Jersey for Jackson. As you can see, Brayden and I are wearing jerseys to honor Jackson, who died in a tragic Christmas parade in Waukesha, Wisconsin. Today's temperature is 37 degrees and we'll get right into the show. We start off today with the postponing of our sequel of the movie that we created earlier this year. It has been postponed because after Grayson and a donkey has been quarantined in his home.
Also, in other movie news, Tyler Jones has been fired from director due to his crappy job and his very frequent mood swings that he's been having lately. Back to you, Tate.
Thank you, Brayden. Next up, we have the report of Tyler Jones with our sideline reporter, Soren M.J. Smith. Over to you, Soren.
Tyler Jones here on set. Tyler, how do you feel about your new commercial and your firing of director?
Well, I'm pretty
glad you're annoying.
I'm being assaulted. Alright, I guess we're not getting a word from Tyler Jones because our camera has been assaulted by star Joey Loveby. As you can see, that is the reason why we have broken up from this group.
An increase in algebra students has caused the population to surge. Now, there is not enough room in the current algebra classes to hold the amount of students that have passed the test. Obviously, the teachers did not think that the test would be so easy for so many students. So now, there might have to be another class. It's kind of stupid. Back to you, Tate.
It's very unfortunate because from what I've heard is that if they have a B, which is easy to get, and they pass 2 of the 4 tests to get into algebra, that they're into algebra, which is unfortunate. So we will be back with our next news coverage after this commercial. This broadcast today is sponsored by Culver's. More choices, more smiles. We serve all of our food with a smile on our faces, knowing it's going to put one on yours. No matter what you're craving, that's why we make everyone's favorites fresh, so that we can make their day. Thank you for Culver's for sponsoring this broadcast. Cut.
In sports news today, on Tuesday, the Milton White team faced the Fort Atkinson Sharks. They barely made it out alive, 34-31. Notable players from this game were A.J. DeBoer and Brayden Rautenberg. A.J. had 16 and Brayden had 13. In Thursday, White team played the Jefferson Eagles. Eagles kind of sucked a little bit, and they lost 31-37 to the Red Hawks. Tate Olson had 11 points and Soren Smith had 12. In the A-team action, the Red team beat the Eagles 50-14 in a blowout. Brayden and Lucas both had 14 apiece, and it was great.
And now we get into the math talk. Today's math talk is going to do one question from me, Tate Olson, one question from Brayden, Rautenberg, and one question from our lucky contestant who will be the first to arrive at studio and perform their math for the chance to win a brand new iPhone.
Toaster.
So for my problem, we are going to be doing product n and 2. 2n, it's 2n, right? Okay. The product of 2n is no less than 14. How I'm going to start that off is 2n is no less than 14. So that means that our sign has to be greater than or equal to, because it cannot be anything less than 14. Therefore, 2n is greater than or equal to 14.
It's true.
Over to Brayden with the next problem.
I don't know how to do this next problem. It's really actually quite hard to do. Let's erase that. No one wants that. Now,
Is at most 60.
the speed, it doesn't say 60 anymore. It is I. I'm going to be solving number 2 here, as Tate or Olson did the first one. The speed S on a highway is at most 60 miles an hour, which the common speed limit on the highways these days is 70. So I don't understand this.
60 is a construction zone.
Shut your mouth, Mr. Tate. So, obviously, we're going to start with S here. It's a terrible S. My marker's going out, so this isn't working. But that's an S anyway. On a highway, it's at most 60, which means 60 is the most you can go, unless you are not in a construction zone. And then that means it will be less than or equal to, because you can go 60. But sometimes you can go 1 or 2 miles over the speed limit and it's okay.
The math talk question of the day is the product 8F is at most 32. One lucky contestant who is the first one to arrive at our studio will be brought in and be able to solve this problem. And if they get it correct, they will win this brand new iPhone SE in red. And it looks like Great Question is made first. Great Question, welcome to the chat. What is your name, sir?
Soren, sir.
That was a very physical entrance there. Alright, Soren Smith has been on
You don't
the
deserve to
contestant.
be on here.
Sir, it is fair and square. He made it first. You need to leave now. Soren Smith,
In case my mom makes a better turkey.
has been selected to be the math talk question of the day for the chance to win this brand new iPhone SE.
Would have been my
Soren,
phone.
Are you ready?
Yes, I am.
You have 15 seconds to start to do that product. The problem on the board, and it is starting now.
I would already be done by now.
5, 4, and he's done. Sir, I'm gonna need you to clarify this. Does this say F
Yes, it does.
is less than or equal to 4?
Yes.
Survey says he is correct. Congratulations. Let's get a round of applause for Soren Smith, who is our contestant and has just won this brand new iPhone SE. Have a nice day.
Wait.
Hey, break it up. Sir, we need security over here now. Sir, are you okay? No. Are you okay? You should leave. Go home now, okay? Congratulations on your iPhone. Now have a nice day. Congratulations to Soren Smith on winning that brand new iPhone SE. We hope that Soren has a safe recovery, as you can see that he has been mugged by Tyler Johannes on his way out of the studio. That is the end of our show, of our broadcast today. Thank you so much for joining. Don't forget Culver's is our sponsors. I'm Tate Olson, beside me co-host Brayden Rautenberg, and we will see you next time on The Math Talk.